Hey again, if you're just joining us, my name is Michael. You can call me Fabulous or you can call me Fab for short. And this is episode 1 of my Beginner to Pro WordPress series. Today we are starting with the most important question. And that question is, what exactly is WordPress? But before we can be able to answer that question, we are going to look at something first. CMS. CMS. CMS means content management system. So before you can actually talk about WordPress or go in details to understand what WordPress is, we must have to understand what CMS is. Once we know the meaning of CMS and what it does, then we can now go right from there to understanding WordPress. And from there, we'll go into installing WordPress and doing what we can do, the whole amazing things and stuff that we can do with WordPress. So, what is CMS? CMS simply means Content Management System. And Content Management System, or CMS for short, is a software that allows users to create, manage, and modify digital content on a website without needing extensive technical coding knowledge. So this is very simple. You don't need to learn of JavaScript. You don't need to learn Python. You don't need to learn all of the you know coding languages, or you don't even need to know the simplest of it, or the HTML or CSS for design for beautifying the code. No, you don't need it. All you need is just CMS, and WordPress is one of the CMS that we have. So now let's dive in to understanding what WordPress is. Now, WordPress is the most popular website building tool in the whole wide world. In fact, when we look at the whole website, let's say on the percentage of 1 to 100, WordPress powers over 40% of all the websites on the internet, from small personal blogs to big business sites and even online stores. It is an open source content management system, which simply means it helps you to create, helps you to edit, and helps you to manage your website without needing to know how to code. You understand? Now you have to understand why we had to go and understand what CMS means before we dived into explaining WordPress. All right. So now the next question is, why use WordPress? Why should or must we use WordPress? Why not go and learn HTML, learn CSS, and from there you take it up to learn JavaScript or maybe learn um, Python. And mind you, WordPress is written the programming language used to write WordPress is PHP. Okay, now why not go learn PHP? So if you are someone who loves coding and you need to go on and write those bunch of codes, I call them bunch of codes. They are very good actually. Then you can go ahead and learn this other programming language. But if you are not, you don't have the time to waste, you don't have the time to really learn this. Now you use drag and drop. I call WordPress drag and drop. It helps you to create, edit, manage. That's all. Visually, you see what you're doing visually. You don't have to write codes and okay, yeah, you write this and no, you just drag, you drop, you look at it, you see how it appears, and that's it. So why do we have to use WordPress? Here are just a few reasons why we need to use WordPress. One, WordPress is free. You don't have to pay to use WordPress itself. Two, it is flexible. You can create blogs, business sites, portfolios, e-commerce stores, and more with it. We have tons of themes and plugins. You can customize the look and features of your site without coding. It has huge community. This is the one I love the most. It has a very large community. That means constant updates, support, tutorials, and tools are always available. Whether you're a beginner or someone hoping to make money building websites, WordPress is a perfect starting point. maybe after you have mastered WordPress, you can actually go ahead to, learn some other ones. Okay. All right. Now we are going to look at the types of WordPress. Okay. When we talk about CMS, we talk about WordPress. Now we have to know that we have something called WordPress.com and we have another one called WordPress.org. Now here is something that confuses a lot of beginners. WordPress.com and WordPress.org are two different, okay, let me just call them two different packages. Now, there is something you get with one and there's something you don't get with the other. So let me quickly explain the difference. WordPress.com is hosted for you. It's easier but limited in customization unless you pay. When you're using WordPress.com, you are using a free version of WordPress. Okay, it is not actually, would I call it, if no, WordPress itself is free, but you are using a free you are using a WordPress where you don't have to pay for hosting. Okay, before you can become before you can actually get your website to go live, there is something we call hosting. You pay for hosting. Okay, you pay a few dollars, to get a hosting company to actually store your data, store your files, so that someone looking for what you have or searching for your domain name or searching for your website can actually fetch the data from there. And once you make that payment, you have full access. You can do anything with your H panel or your C panel. Okay, but now if you're using WordPress.com, it is hosted for free for you on the WordPress host itself. Let me just use the word. WordPress hosts it for you for free, but then you don't have full access to some other customizations that you will get once you get your own host. Okay, there are things you can do with it. Just understand that there are things you can't do when you are using WordPress.com because it is hosted for you by WordPress. But then when you're using WordPress.org, know that WordPress.org is self-hosted, which means you get full control over your website. You install it on your own hosting, and it's what we'll be using in this course. Okay, we're not going to use the WordPress.com. We're using WordPress.org because we need full access. We need to be able to edit stuff, add plugins, change themes. Get to customize it and see everything as we do it. Okay, so don't worry, I'll walk you through every step from buying hosting to installing WordPress the right way. Okay, we are going to get it right, and I am here to guide you. I am here to hold you by the hands until you are able to do all of this. So remember, we are going to take you from a complete beginner to a pro WordPress developer. So don't worry and just be happy. And if you've not subscribed, please hit the subscription button, and also remember to turn on the bell notification so that you get you get YouTube to send you notification whenever we drop any series so that you don't miss out. All right, peace and love.